Dan here, and I kid you not, February's over, Sony dropped out of PAX, we all know the release of the PS5 is nigh, but don't you remember the PS2? Yeah, you do. To this day, it is the best-selling video game console of all time, second and third only to the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 1, respectively, as far as home consoles go. With thousands of games to play from across 13 years of production, why on earth would anyone go out and pay hundreds for the PS5? I mean, why? Why would anyone do it? You could go to a garage sale today and get yourself a PS2 with 2 controllers, memory card, power cable, component cable to support HD video graphics, of course, all for 30 to 50 bucks. And I get it. I'm not stupid. I know. It's outdated tech. There's no ray tracing, no 8K graphic support, no SSDs for fast boot ups, no enhanced cooling. But the games? The games are timeless. Hey! Yeah! Yes!
Act natural. Don't blow our cover.
With these disguises, the guards should leave you alone.
Whoa, spaceman, don't blow our cover!
Back in the early 2000s, every one of my friends had some variation of the PS2, either the original Fat Boy, as everybody liked to call it, or the Slim. But would you believe, I didn't actually buy this console until I was in college and the PS3 Super Slim was already out. I love my parents, but I have to blame this on them, because when I was growing up, there was a rule in the house that home consoles were not allowed because they were more distracting than handheld consoles were, which were allowed. There was probably some truth to this. I mean, the home consoles, we could plug those into a backlit TV, play them any time of day. They were hard-powered, very easy to get sucked into. Handheld consoles, very different story. This got old fast.
Daniel, is that light?
Mama, no, I'm sleeping! So I had to wait. And all that waiting created a backlog so big, I'll probably never have time for them all. There's just no way. The only one I'm gonna work hard to make time for is my most recent and prized edition, Operation Genesis. I nabbed this one in a trade. It was a tough trade for Castlevania Symphony of the Night for my PS1 jewel case video. There's just one problem, and it's a pretty big problem. The disc doesn't play. I pop it in, and it just sits on the menu. It doesn't want to load. Now, I thought it could be a bad disc, but other PS2 games played just fine.
Think of the children!
What I didn't realize was that some PS2 games were made on DVD-ROMs, the ones with silverbacks, and others were made on CD-ROMs, the ones with bluebacks. PS1 games were also made on CD-ROMs, and wouldn't you know it, none of my PS1 discs or PS2 CD-ROMs work anymore. And I know they were a few months ago, because I'd been playing them. So I've been thinking, and maybe it's time I finally upgrade. I've held out for this many generations. If I get the PS5 now, it promises to be backwards compatible with the PS4. It's like I'll be getting 2 in 1. And I mean, I can't keep the broken console and all the games. They take up so much space. And it's gotta be difficult to replace this laser. It probably is very advanced, something I can't do. Or maybe it's not. I just happened across this very detailed post from Long Island Retro Gaming, and honestly, it doesn't look that bad. The part is less than $10. The laser comes in this little box. You only need a Phillips head screwdriver and a soldering iron. How bad could it be? You know, I think if it means I get to see Christopher Walken play a retired LAPD officer just one more time, it'll all be worth it.
In that moment, I saw my old friend, and boy, it made me smile.
It's time to take it to the family workbench. It's not pretty down here, I'm not gonna lie. I have everything laid out that we'll need. A few different Phillips head screwdrivers. You only need one, but I don't really know which one I'll need yet. I have a battery-powered soldering iron to remove. There's a little anti-static solder. Now, I have an anti-static bracelet, which I probably should have had on before I touched the laser, but, well, I, of course, have loaded up on my phone the PS2 repair video to refer to, a little water, and then you to keep me company. One of these screws is hidden by a sticker that I guess I'm going to be forced to remove. Oh, it's the warranty seal. Considering this console released nearly 20 years ago, I'd say that we can void the warranty. I never like hearing the sound of plastic tearing apart like that as it comes off its rail. I see the blob. It's right here at the edge. I think it's just a matter of... Did I get it?
Remove it, all you need is a clean soldering iron with a chisel tip, and you just swipe.
Probably the one bad thing about this electric soldering iron, it has a little hole in it that you have to fill, and once the connection is made, that's what turns the soldering on, but I'm finding it difficult to remove this blob. I think I did it. Can you tell I haven't done this before? Is it that obvious? It's all back together. Moment of truth time. I have come a very long way from not being allowed to have this inside my home. I am happy to be here with you. Here we go! Okay, it's a good sign. I didn't break it. Okay, putting in a disc. Darn it. That hurts. I wonder if it's the solder. Alright, as much as it pains me to say it, it's completely my fault. I was much too hard on this laser with the poor choice of a soldering iron that I had. I don't know why I went battery-powered electric. Well, I do. It's the only one I had. I should have gone plug in the wall and it powers on soldering iron. Live and learn. And look, I put the old laser back in. DVD-ROMs are booting up just fine. It's the CD-ROMs that I so desperately wanted to play that I'm currently still not able to do. But don't get discouraged because I'm getting in and out of the console in under 10 minutes now. I feel like I have a very good understanding of what's going on. I know when I get a second laser, I'm gonna crush this. I can feel it. Honestly though, even though I can't play the CD-ROMs, the reason why I was doing this, it's reminded me how many DVD-ROMs I have to get through, and I have a newfound appreciation for that. I'm gonna start playing them. You know, I think this goes to show why the PS2 sold so many systems, because the simplest thing to do when your laser breaks is to buy a new console. But I'm not playing that game, Sony, you know, there's a whole backlog I need to get through. If you're looking for me, when your PS5 comes out, I'll be keeping the streets of LA safe. What's up?!
I am gonna sue you for that! Ow, my eye!
They busted cash over there!